Hey guys, we're back for some more Battlefield action, and in today's episode we're going to be using that AUG A Trizzle. And this gun right here, man, a lot of good things to say about it. And the one thing we're going to be talking about in this video primarily is muzzle velocity. And we may get into some of the other gun attributes and assets in some other videos, but I really want to talk about muzzle velocity for the most part, because in that category the AUG is the best amongst the assault rifles. Right here, this guy's mowing down my team. I couldn't even see him because my teammate's in front of me, but I was like, skip it, somebody's got to be in this area, and we end up getting that kill. But I definitely like this gun, and the reason being is, the main reason is that muzzle velocity, man. If you watch the Scar H videos, that gun has a very low muzzle velocity, and compared to the AUG, it's like the entire side of the map difference. Like, the AUG has like a high, I think a 620 or 670, and then the Scar has like freaking 500s or something like that. So it's like crazy difference in muzzle velocity. And what the heck is muzzle velocity? What does it mean? What does it do? Muzzle velocity is basically how fast your bullet travels. Pretty much, to make it very simple, just how fast your bullet travels. So if you're a pitcher in baseball, you throw an 80-mile-an-hour fastball compared to a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, it makes a big difference. So with that being said, we'll just use that example. If you want to hit somebody with the ball in dodgeball and you can't throw fast, you kind of got to lead them by a lot. So when you're aiming your shots and they're running on the move, you have to put the ball in front of them by quite a bit of distance. However, if you've got a cannon of an arm and you can get the ball there very fast, you only got to lead them maybe just a little bit, if anything at all. So those types of things, when you're shooting in a first-person shooter, going to make a drastic difference, because a lot of the times you're going to hit moving targets. There's going to be guys on the run, and there's going to be guys moving, walking around at various distances. So another thing to factor in is how far away are you from that person. If you're real close to them, obviously you don't have to lead them as much. If you're pretty far from them, you're going to have to lead them quite a bit. And those types of differences between the muzzle velocity at various distance and just hitting those moving targets is in crazy difference between each gun, especially going from a gun that has a very low muzzle velocity to a very high one. So there's 2 points you're gonna hit. There's the low muzzle velocity, where you're aiming pretty far ahead. If you aim that far ahead with your faster muzzle velocity, you're gonna shoot in front of the target. However, if you aim in the spot where you should be aiming for a fast muzzle velocity with a slow muzzle velocity weapon, you're gonna actually be shooting behind a moving target. So those types of things is what kind of you just got to get used to, and definitely was a little bit of a learning curve, just because I came straight from the Scar. If you come from a different weapon that's a little bit closer, it won't be as drastic of a difference. But definitely, if the two guns you're switching between is the AUG and the Scar, you're gonna be you're definitely gonna be in a lot of adjustment period, getting used to between the two weapons, just getting used to that difference. So with that being said, we are here, man. This AUG is beast. Getting those weapons where you can really just mow down targets fast, AUG is definitely one of them, and I really like this gun. And if I'm pronouncing the AUG wrong, please, I'm sorry. The AUG. This weapon is real nice, man. You don't really have to lead targets as much because of the high muzzle velocity. It's got the same damage and the same clip size as most of the other assault rifles in the game. Obviously the Scar does a little bit more damage, but the rest of them have the same amount of damage. And it's got not too bad of a reload. I mean it could be a little faster, but it's definitely got a pretty decent reload time. Again, it's definitely nice to have a nice backup weapon. And the one I think is the best for me right now is definitely the 93R. The G18 is cool, but it's just really sporadic, and it's very difficult to control, and definitely not going to be something you're going to be able to use at distance. And the Magnums and those types of pistols are just, they got a little bug in them where there's like a little bit of a delay when you shoot, so it makes it a little bit harder to aim. I mean, if you can get used to that, you can make it work, and those can definitely be nice. But with that little bug, it just makes those not as quite effective. Other than that, I definitely am a fan of the M9 And then one gun that I don't think it should be a backup, but it is the Shorty G, and that thing is beast. Like, it's just a shotgun, and if they come up close, man, it's beast. It's a shotgun, so it's gonna win a lot of those battles. So with this AUG though, man, I definitely like it. You can get some real good distant shots because of how fast the bullets travel. You don't have to lead as much, and it makes shooting at a distant target a lot easier. It makes shooting at moving targets a lot easier once you get used to it, because you know there's less of a distance that you have to lead your target. And also I find that helpful because when you have a target that's kind of weaving and doing a lot of things like that, like it's pretty near the target anyway as far as leading the bullets. So if they decide to happen to stop, your bullets are a lot closer to them anyway than it would be if you had to lead them a lot. So you don't have to lead them as much, so that way your gun is and your aim is already pretty much right on top of them, maybe just a little bit ahead of them if they're kind of a distance away from you, but definitely less of a sway of gun, or less of an aiming adjustment between aiming at a moving target and a standing still target, just because you don't have to lead them as much. And right here we're just trying to use that cover, take over the top, and on this map, man, the top is so crucial. If you got the top, especially if you're playing domination, you're pretty much going to control the B flag and C flag. You can control those two from the top. So if you're playing domination, I recommend trying to control the B and C flag. I think that's the best strategy. And try to have a few people up top. Maybe a guy with the snipe, maybe a guy with the assault kit. That way he can revive the guy with the snipe. And pretty much just watch the two ladders and the elevator. And the thing about the elevator is it makes a noise when it comes up, so you'll know right away. So really you just got to watch for those two ladders and listen for the elevator, and that'll be a dead giveaway for that. But other than that, guys, man, if you have not tried out the AUG, I definitely recommend doing it. Again, I'm back with the reflex scope. This is the standard reflex scope. I hadn't unlocked anything else for it. This is one of the some of the early rounds with the AUG that I had, and it's definitely a gun I'll be using in the future, man. It's definitely a gun you will see a lot of people using just because of that muzzle velocity and the fact that it's a pretty controllable recoil. I mean, it's pretty decent. You know, it's not the best controlled recoil in the game, but it's certainly not the worst, and it's certainly controllable, very much so, especially on console. And I can only speak for it on console. I'm not going to speak on PS4. I mean, PC or Xbox One. But on the PS4, man, it's very controllable as far as the recoil and the kickback and those types of things are concerned. It's decent with hip fire if you got the laser sight on it. But I mean, any gun can do decent as far as hip fire goes when it comes really up close. A lot of the times, though, I do prefer aiming down sight, especially with the AUG, because you get those bullets and you can get them right on the money, and those bullets are going to be hitting that target and mowing them down pretty quickly there. So that's definitely something you can look forward to when you're using the AUG. It's just that fast muzzle velocity, and if you haven't tried it out, man, definitely do that. That's going to wrap it up for my commentary. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of this gameplay as well. Definitely some solid games, and had some very good rounds with the AUG. Had a lot of fun with it, and it's definitely, again, you guys will see here on the channel in the future. But until the next time, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's your boy, Moss to Chappie, and we go.
Вот тебе медпакет!